Here at the cabin stage, time for the mentor to shine. This fellow's been wrangling and inspiring young people with his acoustic kids showcases here at MerleFest and all over the country, really, for the better part of 20 years, actually 30 for you all over, but MerleFest for the past 20 years. And he, after a wonderful night with the kids last night, he wanted to take a breath and make it kind of easy and relaxed and share a few of his wonderful songs with you all by himself. So here on the cabin, please welcome back on a beautiful Sunday afternoon at MerleFest. Here's Andy May. One more time, Andy.
Well, howdy, everybody. It's good to be here. I'm sitting down because, well, I got worn out yesterday. That cabin stage set last night was wild. How many of you were out there watching those youngsters? Let me hear it. Let's hear it for those kids. That's the next generation of players. Man, isn't it wonderful, too? Well, I'm just going to sit here and pick, if you don't mind. I'm just really glad to be here, always glad to be at MerleFest. It feels like a big family reunion each year. Me and my wife, Lauren, come back here to visit with y'all. Hey, here's one. You can sing along with me on this one if you like. The chorus goes, roll on, buddy, don't you roll so slow. How can I roll if the wheel don't go? Well, the 9-pound hammer, it's a little too heavy, buddy, for my size, buddy, for my size. Roll on, buddy, don't you roll so slow. How can I roll when the wheels don't go? It's a long way to Harlem, it's a long way to Haggard, just to get a little brew, just to get a little brew. Roll on, buddy, don't you roll so slow. How can I roll when the wheels don't go? I'm a-going on the mountain just to see my darling, and I ain't coming back. Lord, I ain't coming back. Roll on, buddy, don't you roll so slow. How can I roll when the wheels don't go? Rings like silver and shines like gold. Roll on, buddy, don't you roll so slow. How can I roll when the wheels don't go? Sing it with me now. With a 9-pound hammer, it's a little too heavy, buddy, for my size, buddy, for my size. Roll on, buddy, don't you roll so slow. How can I roll when the wheels don't go? Hey, thank you so much. Hey, this is an old piece. I don't know how old this next one is. I know Grayson and Witter from down the road here recorded it back in the late 1920s, but so many other people have done it as well. It's called Handsome Molly. I remember on that old recording that Grayson Witter did, in the middle of that recording, in that recording session way back in the late 1920s, one of the fellas in the band yelled, "Oh, you Molly!" And this is Handsome Molly. "Oh, you Molly!" Well, I wish I was in London, some other seaport town. I'd put my foot on a steamboat, I'd sail the ocean round. While sailing round the ocean, sailing round the sea, I think of handsome Molly wherever she might be. You could sing that chorus with me. While sailing round the ocean, sailing round the sea, I think of handsome Molly wherever she might be. Oh, don't you remember, Molly, when you gave me your right hand? You said if you ever married that I would be the man. Now you break your promise, marry whom you please. While my poor heart is breaking, you're going at your ease. And I wish I was in London, some other seaport town. I'd put my foot on a steamboat, I'd sail the ocean round. Sailing round the ocean, sailing round the sea, I'd think of handsome Molly wherever she might be. Well, she goes to church on Sunday, passes me on by. I can tell her mind is changing by the roving of her eye. Her hair is dark as ravens, eyes are dark as coal, and her cheeks are like lilies that in the morning glow. So I wish I was in London, some other seaport town. I'd put my foot on a steamboat, I'd sail the ocean round. Sing it with me now. While sailing round the ocean, sailing round the sea, I'd think of handsome Molly wherever she might be. Sailing round the ocean, sailing round the sea, I'd think of handsome Molly wherever she might be. All right. Thank you. Good hearing you singing along, too. Well, way back around 1977, I had the wonderful opportunity, me and my old bandmate, Mr. Tabby Crabb from South Georgia, had the opportunity with our band to open up for the great Merle Haggard. It was one of those life experiences. One of the kids yesterday, an acoustic kids, sang a Haggard song, and it just kind of brought it back to me. So just in honor of a great American songwriter, here's one I'll do for you called Haggard and the Queen. Well, there are so many choices that people have today. What to pay attention to, how to spend their pay. But sometimes I remember back to a very different scene when we opened up for Haggard and we played for the Queen. We opened up for Haggard and played for the Queen of country music, Miss Kitty Wells, I mean. And we were singing hungry, 'cause we were mighty lame when we opened up for Haggard and we played for the Queen. We were two young broke musicians, pushed right to the brink. If something didn't happen soon, either one would sink. So we put our heads together and we came up with a plan. We started us a duo and we soon became a band. And we filled those old road houses. We took it pretty far, a regional phenomenon, and we were local stars. Sometimes the road was kind to us and sometimes it got mean, but we opened up for Haggard and we played for the Queen. We opened up for Haggard and played for the Queen of country music, Miss Kitty Wells, I mean. And we were singing hungry 'cause we were mighty lean when we opened up for Haggard and we played for the Queen. Now folks, when I think about it, I just have to grin. If I had it to do over, heck, I'd do it all again. To be a little part of something good, well, I know what that means, 'cause we opened up for Haggard and we played for the Queen. We opened up for Haggard and played for the Queen of country music, Miss Kitty Wells, I mean. And we were singing hungry 'cause we were mighty lean when we opened up for Haggard and we played for the Queen. Yeah, we were singing hungry 'cause we were mighty lean when we opened up for Haggard and we played for the Queen. That's dedicated to my old buddy, the late Mr. Tabby Crab. Here's one you can sing with me on. It's Sunday, almost, well, it was Sunday morning, but we'll call this a Sunday morning kind of song. This was my old buddy Lloyd Beaver's very favorite hymn, and I'm remembering him a lot this weekend. I'll fly away. Well, one glad morning when this life is over, I'll fly away to a home on God's celestial shore. I'll fly away. Sing it with me now. I'll fly away, oh glory. I'll fly away in the morning when I die. Hallelujah, by and by, I'll fly away. Well, just a few more weary days and then I'll fly away to a land where the joy shall never end. I'll fly away. Sing it with me now. I'll fly away, oh glory. I'll fly away in the morning when I die. Hallelujah, by and by, I'll fly away. Sing it with me now. Oh, I'll fly away, oh glory. I'll fly away in the morning when I die. Hallelujah, by and by, I'll fly away when I die. Hallelujah, by and by, I'll fly away. Oh, I do. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Thank you very much for that. Well, let's see what we're doing time-wise, Mr. Tim. They must trust me up here. There's nobody with the hook. Oh, that's right. I'm supposed to look in front of me. They got a little time remaining thing. I got time to get into some more trouble up here, that's for sure. Well, I put this album out. I put 2 albums out in the last few years. The first was an Americana album called Room for Roots, which you'll find in the Mercantile. And the second was an album I put out with the great and legendary 5-string banjo player, Mr. Curtis McPeak of Bill Monroe, Lester Flattner, Earl Scruggs, and Danny Davis fame. But on that first album, I put a song on there that I wrote with my wife Lauren and my old buddy Jimmy Heffernan. And when I first moved to Nashville about 20 years ago, I was producing a lot of records for different people and writing for them as well. And I wrote this one for an artist, and then many years later, I realized I need to cut it for myself because it's a kind of an autobiographical song. It's called "The Woman in the Wings," and radio was so kind to us with this song. It sat in the top 10 on the Roots radio station reports for 2 months a couple of years ago, and I'll share it with you right now. It's called "The Woman in the Wings." I hope you enjoy it. He was such a quiet kid, shy as anything. When he was all by himself, he sure loved to sing. She was amazed he signed up for the 3rd grade talent show. But when the big day finally came, he was afraid to go. She whispered, "You can do it," as she knelt backstage by his side. Your gift is like a candle, son, it's time to let it shine. Well, something in her words and the way that they were said caused the shy boy's fear to disappear and made him brave instead. He walked out on the stage and it was such a simple thing to throw his head back and just sing. For the woman in the wings, the woman in the wings. Even after he was grown, she'd come to hear him sing. He was reaching for his dream while she watched him from the wings. And she saw him through thick and thin, praying he'd succeed. But when the world came to his door, she wasn't there to see. And it was all within his grasp, but his courage seemed to fade. The applause could never warm him like the smile upon her face. Then one night in the spotlight, he saw an angel by his side. She said, "Your gift is like a candle, son, don't forget to let it shine." Something in her words and the way that they were said gave a broken man the strength to stand and live his life instead. Though you may never see her, to him she's not a dream. She stands beside him as he sings. For the woman in the wings, the woman in the wings, the woman in the wings, Thank you. Thank you so much. Well, here's a great old Carter family tune I'm going to share with you right now. It's got a message that just spans the ages, I think. It was written many, many years ago. The Carter family collected it and recorded it. Here's the chorus on this one, if you want to help me. Oh, I'll never forget where'er I roam, wherever you may be. If ever I have had a friend, you've been that friend to me. The old Carter family chestnut. My bark of life was drifting down the troubled stream of time, when first I saw your smiling face and youth was in its prime. Oh, I'll ne'er forget where'er I roam, wherever you may be. If ever I have had a friend, you've been that friend to me. Misfortune nursed me as her child and loved me fondly too. I would have had a broken heart had it not been for you. Oh, I'll ne'er forget where'er I roam, wherever you may be. If ever I have had, if ever I have had a friend, you've been that friend to me. I now look back upon the past, across life's troubled sea, and smile to think through all I've seen. You've been a friend to me. Oh, I'll ne'er forget where'er I roam, wherever you may be. If ever I have had a friend, you've been that friend to me. Oh, I'll ne'er forget where'er I roam, wherever you may be. If ever I have had a friend, you've been that friend to me. Well, I surely do thank you. I'm hearing and watching some of the lips moving and jaws moving, and I know you're singing along with me. I appreciate that so much. I'm glad you enjoyed it. This is a song I have sung all over the world at this point. My wife Lauren and I wrote this one when we first moved to Nashville in 1996, and it's kind of based on something we saw happening, but it's really just a lot of fun. It's called Stand. Some of you have heard me do this before, and those of you who haven't, you'll just know the song as Stand. Oh, by the way, the names have been changed in this song to protect the guilty. Well, I met her one morning at the corner cafe. She brought me my breakfast and she asked me my name. I drank enough coffee to fill a small lake. She sat down at my table when she went on her break. And she told me about her mama, told me about her dad, told me about her favorite dog she ever had. She told me about her past, she told me about her plans, but she forgot to mention Stan. So I took her out dancing, never meaning no harm, thinking how good she looked hanging on my arm. She had my heart hopping like a honky-tonk band. Then the dance floor cleared and here comes Stan. She told me about her mama, told me about her dad, told me about her favorite dog she ever had. She told me about her past, she told me about her plans, but she forgot to mention Stan. She forgot to mention Stanley's got a temper, and he's built just like a moving van. Guess she forgot that she's already got a man, 'cause she forgot to mention Stan. Well, I'm a-sitting here watching the world go by. I see a little clearer through this black eye. She told the truth and nothing but the truth, yeah, man, but the whole truth would have included Stan. She told me about her mama, told me about her dad, told me about her favorite dog she ever had. She told me about her past, she told me about her plans, but she forgot to mention Stan. She's Stan's old lady, oh lady, oh lady. Well, thank you so much. I was hoping I could just sit out here this morning, and I know Tim would let me just sit out here and pick, because he's my buddy.
Yeah, man.
He keeps me
All yours.
He keeps me honest and looks out for me. But what do you think about the crew of MerleFest? The sound, the stage guys, the stage managers, aren't they most incredible? It's the best family anybody could ever want. God bless you guys. I hope you have a wonderful year. Thank you, MerleFest, for keeping me here since 2001. And Tim, thank you for hosting me these last few years on the stage.
Our genuine pleasure. Andy May, everybody from Nashville. One of the warmest-hearted, most chill guys I know around this place and everywhere. And it has to come from all the good you're doing with these wonderful children. And they're not so much children anymore. Up through 16, check out his acoustic kids, because maybe if you got a young person interested in music, it'd be a great thing to fall into. Website for the kids, acoustic kids? That's acoustickids.com. Check it out. Andy May. Thank you, man. We love you. Up next here on